serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Cruise the campus, explore the circuit, experience F1 Miami like never before. Your general admission ticket to the 2025 Formula One Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix is here. Immerse yourself in the action with unparalleled access to different campus zones. Enjoy thrilling activities, live entertainment, and endless food and beverage options while witnessing the race, all for less than $150 per day. Visit F1MiamiGP.com to secure your spot at the 2025 Formula One Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix.
Panthers are on the prowl for the Cup. Join ESPN West Palm and Coors Light Monday, April 28th from 6:30 to 8:30 at St. Lucie Draft House in Port St. Lucie as the Florida Panthers take on their in-state rivals, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Enjoy ice-cold $3 Coors Light drafts and score big with giveaways, including signed Panthers memorabilia courtesy of Palm Beach Autographs. Must be 21 or older to participate. Coors Brewing Company reminds you to please drink responsibly.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stuart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Green Bay on 3. 1, 2, 3. Green Bay!
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. What a day, what a day. What a day to be joining you here on a Friday, a feel-good Friday on Theoretically Speaking. Day 2 of the NFL Draft tonight. Coverage starts here on ESPN 1063 right at 6 o'clock from Green Bay, from Lambeau, where dreams were made last night. A lot of history coming off the top. I mean, we're going to have to start by just a special shout and thank you to the city of Boynton Beach and to the Boynton Beach Art and Cultural Center that hosted our Travis Hunter Draft Watch Party. As you know, the Jacksonville Jaguars trade up from 5 to 2. They select their guy, wide receiver and corner out of Colorado and out of Jackson State, the Heisman Trophy winning Travis Hunter, who started his football playing career with the Boynton Beach Bulldogs here in Palm Beach County. So thank you to everybody that showed up and showed out. Much love to Bill Tomei. Much love to Shirley Hunter, Travis's grandma, helping us set it up, and the city of Boynton Beach as well. Awesome time, and the fans and the 50 Boys, which is the nickname for the Boynton Beach Bulldogs youth football team, which has won like 4 championships in the past 5 years. A big shout to them. Was a great time. C-Cat, sorry you were not able to make it, but I'm glad you're on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos as we gear up to talk about what the hell went down last night. I'm excited because though I wasn't in Green Bay and neither was our guy Cameron Wolf from NFL Network, he was actually in Cleveland at Browns HQ as they were in the war room, and they were the ones that helped be part of the blockbuster trade, moving back from 2 to 5, allowing the Jaguars to come up and get Hunter. The Browns settle in at 5. They get Mason Graham out of Michigan, the defensive tackle. And joining us now, this is crazy, the earliest ever in a show, we are already howling with the Wolf. Cam Wolf looking sharp in the suit. If you're watching us on the YouTube stream, Cam, are you good? Are you warm out there in Cleveland, man? I know it gets chilly.
Hey, it was actually 78 degrees yesterday.
Whoa.
I was out there cooking. We got a little rain today. It's in the 60s, but it could be a lot worse. I'm definitely in enjoying a little bit of a good weather here in the Midwest.
At what point last night did you know the Browns would actually pull the trigger? Because we knew they were fielding calls. We didn't know exactly how many teams or who was most interested. But at what point before it was announced did you realize?
Well, about 4:30, 5 o'clock, I started getting texts from my contacts that, hey, got some surprises coming. Expect something unexpected. And then about 6 o'clock, I got confirmation that the trade was going to happen as long as the board fell as we expected. Cam Ward went to Tennessee, then it was already done. And so at that stage, I was prepping myself for the big announcement. You know, us at NFL Network, we can't tip picks. So I had to vaguely give people an idea of what's going to happen the best way I can. And then obviously exploded when the news dropped around 8:15. So I had probably about a couple hours of official notice and maybe 4 hours of notice of, you know, we're going to shake this thing up.
This is crazy, man. General Manager Andrew Berry, who has obviously been under the microscope from national media, local media, people calling for whether or not he's making the right decisions. Kevin Stefanski seems to have a good hold on that job. People respect him as an offensive mind. But this is a little risky from the Browns, right? When you trade out from getting a generational talent, oftentimes we see people are on the wrong side of that. And they run the risk of doing the same thing they did in 2011 when they were the ones that traded out and let the Falcons come up and get Julio Jones. Was it just the fact that the Jaguars had the heap of picks, or do you get the feeling that the Browns were not as sold on what Hunter can be?
No, I think they really like Travis Hunter. I think that, you know, if they said that too, he would have been the guy. I just look at this as a situation. They really needed more good players. And that was it. They were not a player away. And they felt like the value of this haul was too good to pass up. You know, I had a talk to a exec this morning who described it as a quarterback premium haul in a draft where there was no premium quarterbacks other than Cam Ward. So you're getting a haul that is almost too good to pass up. And that's kind of where the Browns were. Hey, you know, we're willing to listen. If you're willing to do something a little wild, and we're willing to move back. And the Jacksonville and their new general manager, James Gladstone, thought Travis Hunter was worth doing something a little wild for.
Yeah.
And so that's what this came down to. And I think for Cleveland also, they don't have a quarterback. And they didn't feel like any of the quarterbacks other than Cam Ward were worth spending a top 5 pick on. And so getting that first round pick in 26 potentially sets them up for a success if they choose to wait at quarterback.
We are howling with the Wolf. Cameron Wolf, NFL Network reporter. He covers, obviously, all of the NFL. He's out in Cleveland right now for them as they continue through day 2 and 3 of the draft. He also, obviously, has spent many years down here covering the Dolphins and the NFL at large. Year 10 covering the league for my guy. In all of your years, right? I know, that's what I was about to allude to, actually. In all of your years, though, covering the draft, man, have you ever seen one prospect be as polarizing as the man that is the story of day 2, and that is SHEDEUR Sanders, Travis Hunter's former quarterback, who is still available?
Yeah, probably Tim Tebow was the last guy, and for completely different reasons, right? Tim Tebow was polarizing because people weren't sure if he could play quarterback. It was just simply that, and balancing his success in college versus what he could do in the pros. For SHEDEUR, it's something way more complex. It's a mixture of, yes, you know, his skill set and what he can be, but also what he is off the field, who his dad is, all the layers that come with that, you know, how he handled the pre-draft process. All of those layers, I think, make SHEDEUR's case a lot more complex. But I think the reality is SHEDEUR's going to hear his name called today at some point, and he's going to get a chance to go to the team. He gets to write his story in the NFL. I think a lot of this week is going to be we built him up in the media to be a top 5 pick, and the league never saw him that way. The league never saw him as a player that was going to go very high in the draft, and I think, you know, now we're seeing the reality of how the league sees him. And so I'm sure SHEDEUR is disappointed. He's going to use this as fuel. He'll go somewhere today, and we'll see if he can make a great career out of it. But I think, you know, that's some of this on us in the media of hyping up a guy where, you know, the conversations I had with teams were that it was a clear gap between Cam Ward and the rest of the guys. And I think the public thought it was a lot closer, and there was an expectation, and that lets the feel of disappointment, of letdown, of falling in the draft, when I don't know if that necessarily is the case here.
That it's funny you say that, because it is on the media, right? Because we got caught up in the sandstorm that was the Colorado propaganda machine, and it was fun.
Yeah.
and it's great, and it still is with Coach Prime. But maybe we were a little ahead of our skis there. Here's the official details of the trade, the blockbuster trade. The Jaguars give up the number 5 pick, a second-round pick this year, number 36 overall, a fourth-round pick, number 126 overall, and they're giving up next year's first-round pick. In return, they get the Browns' number 2 pick, which they turned into Travis Hunter, along with a fourth-round pick, 104 this year, and the number 200 pick, the 6th round this year as well. When you look at that and you consider the fact that Hunter is a two-way player, he's a guy that Liam Cohen and the Jaguars, their GM Blackstone. Am I getting that?
James
Gladstone. Yeah, I knew I screwed it up, but the guys know he's young. When you look at what they gave up to get Hunter, and you also consider that he is a guy that they plan to play at 2 premium positions, corner and wide receiver. They've already come forth and said that's the plan. Does it feel a little too pricey to you? Like, I know you're at the Browns HQ, so don't say it too loud, but who do you feel like early on won this trade?
Yeah, I will say I asked people smarter than me. I talked to 3 different executives.
A lot of people, by the way.
Different teams. And, that's a lot of people that are smarter than me. 3 different executives from different teams to get their feel. And all 3 of them said they felt Cleveland won the trade.
Wow.
They felt like that the value that they got in the trade was substantial. I had one exec said I would have done that exact trade, and Travis Hunter is the best prospect I've seen in a couple years. And so both things can be true. Jacksonville got the best player in the draft, and Cleveland probably got more value than people anticipated them getting, especially in this draft. So they got to get those picks right. None of it matters if they don't. If they flame out, then you wasted the picks for nothing. But I think that a lot of times teams overestimate their ability to evaluate prospects. And when you get 3-4 premium players out of 1 pick, it gives you a better chance to hit on at least 2 or 3 of them. So I think Cleveland feels good about how they've set up their situation. The fan base is going to have to wait a little longer to maybe see that turnaround go about.
Man, with the Browns screwing up a draft pick, Cam, I mean, that would never happen. What are we talking about?
They've had a history of not getting, especially the quarterback position right. So definitely there's a lot of hesitation on trusting the plan and trusting the process here. I understand the process, but we got to see it in fruition, and quarterback's the big part of it. They got to get that right or nothing else matters. And that was going to be the case whether they drafted Travis or not.
Good thing they got Flacco and Pickett in the room to stabilize things there out in Cleveland. Again, I can say it because they're not right behind me. We're howling with the wolf. We're howling with the wolf on a Feel Good Friday, day 2 of the NFL Draft. This Cam Wolf is up there at Cleveland Browns HQ as they gear up for. They have 2 of the top 4 picks here in the second round, right? Is quarterback
33 and 36?
Yeah,
so it's going to be a lot of Browns on the clock tonight.
What's up? Like, what's the early feels? Now, I know you're not allowed to tip picks and stuff. You are with NFL Network. You got to play it close to the vest. But I mean, the expectation from the outside looking in is they're likely going to find a way to leave this draft with a quarterback. Do you at least have a feel for who fits a Stefanski system best when you look at the Milrose of the world, the Shucks, and of course the man of the hour, SHEDEUR Sanders?
Yeah, I'll say this. I don't think they love any of the prospects that are left at the quarterback position. That's why they're still on the board. I think that all of them have warts. In some way, you just got to choose which one you live with. I think what's going to be interesting, obviously SHEDEUR Sanders is going to be the name that everybody tracks, but Jalen Milroe, they have a lot of familiarity with him. Their offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, was Alabama's OC in 2023. I talked to Kevin Stefanski yesterday and kind of expressed just how much Rees shared with them about his process, how Milroe works, being in the meeting room every day with them, seeing how he moves and how that's helped their evaluation. Now, is that enough for them to make a pick for him at 33 or 36? I'm not sure. We're going to see that, and later on today. But I will say they're going to have to bet on some type of traits if they take a quarterback. For Milroe, is that he's the fastest quarterback in the draft. He's got incredible speed, but he's got big questions about his accuracy and where he is as a passer. SHEDEUR Sanders, accuracy, very much a big pro for him, but questions in other aspects. And then Tyler Shuck is an older prospect. He's done it for a year, but he's got some of the moxie, some of the size, some of the traits that people think you can mold at that position. So, maybe they take a quarterback at some point. I just don't think it's a lock. I think that, like I mentioned earlier, there is a vision of 2026 potentially being a route where you get your guy, and they have a lot of needs, wide receiver, running back. There's a couple of Ohio State running backs that are higher on the board. Luther Burden, the Missouri wide receiver, is still on the board. A couple Iowa State receivers, and then Ariante Irsay, the tackle from Minnesota. If they want to get better up front, there's a lot of picks here they could do, and they got a lot of picks as a team to get better. So I know the hot topic, the sexy pick would be, hey, Shedeur Sanders comes off the board at 33, but I don't know if that's going to be the fruition today. We'll see.
Cameron Wolf joining us again, NFL Network reporter and our guy, friend of the show here on Theoretically Speaking. Let's just a couple of superlatives from last night's draft. Number one, this is what we've been asking our audience all day. This is what we're going to be leading with is, what was your number one surprise from day one of the NFL draft that again shook out? We got 26 SEC players drafted. We only got 2 quarterbacks. What shocked you most?
Yeah, so I'll leave out the Jacksonville-Cleveland trade because we talked a lot about that, and obviously that was a surprise. Atlanta trading a future first-round pick to go get James Pierce. That's honestly the move that has got the most conversation from people I've talked to around the league this morning. Definitely a lot of surprise. James Pierce is a really good prospect, had some question marks on the off-the-field stuff from people I talked to, and that's why he fell. He was considered the second best pass rusher by most people talent-wise behind Abdul Carter, but again, character, medical often makes you fall on board. So they gave up that 26th first-round pick, and who knows where the Falcons are picking next year. They got a quarterback they really like in Michael Penix, but he's only got 4 starts. So I think people thought they overpaid a lot in that department, and the Rams, could be big beneficiaries there. So I'd say that was the biggest surprise.
Here's my pushback, though, with what the Falcons did. I actually like it because, to me, it feels like they're betting on themselves, and they're betting on Penix, who is going to be like 25 years old next year. If they do what they have the ceiling to do, which is to win the NFC South, right? The Panthers, the Saints, and the Buccaneers don't pose that much of a threat to where that shouldn't be a realistic goal. You win your division, you maybe win a playoff game, you're picking in the late 20s. That, to me, is sufficient enough to take a risk on a guy in James Pierce, who, before the college football season started last year, he was the number 1 overall player when ESPN did the full college football rankings. And you went out and got another edge rusher. So the Falcons' storyline over the past decade is they can't sack a quarterback. They went and got 2 dudes who are supposed to be sack monsters out of the SEC. Yeah. So, you got to feel like this is like, hey, we feel like we're winning now. We're good.
Yeah, I understand it completely. Like Terry Fontenot, their general manager, he was aggressive. He filled their biggest need in a big way. And if you're looking at Jalen Walker and James Pierce getting 15-plus sacks combined next year, I think you're really happy with that trade. I think the value perspective is really the same thing we're talking about with Jacksonville. There's unknown of the 2026 draft. Like the NFL has a unique perspective compared to the NBA. The NBA, you can protect picks. And you can say, hey, this is top 3 protected, top 10 protected. It doesn't work that way in the NFL. Mm-hmm. You end up having a bad year. You got a second overall pick. You traded it last year. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And so the unknown, I think, is what scares people in that perspective. But I'm with you. If you really felt good about James Pierce, you feel good about Jalen Walker, you get 2 of the top 3 potential best pass rushers in this draft to fill your biggest need, and you can go win a winnable NFC South, then I think we look back and say maybe the Falcons knew what they were doing.
My dog with the OKC Thunder, Sam Hinkie, or who's it with the he would have a field day in the NFL with the amount of picks he's been the future picks he gets with the Thunder. If they were all unprotected, goodness gracious. We're howling with the Wolf. Cameron Wolf, NFL Network's very own, who's out there in Ohio. Y'all aren't in Cleveland, right? Y'all are in Berea. Where y'all at?
Berea, Ohio, yes.
Berea,
That's
Ohio.
Where the Browns facility is.
Got you, right.
Yeah.
Home of former home of Lou Groza, former great
Berea.
Browns. Yeah, Berea. Am I saying Berea or Berea?
Berea.
I said it right. Dang it. This dude you're trying to correct me right now. How about this? How about you answer my superlative right now? You said what your biggest shock was. You're shocked by the Falcons. Okay. 2 straight years you're shocked by the Falcons. What about this? What was the most awkward moment of the draft last night? Because I'm torn between Matthew Golden, the UT receiver, going up to the stage in Green Bay and being like, everybody, Green Bay on 3.
Go Pack Go. He didn't know to go Pack Go.
Yeah. And also what about Travis Hunter 3 or 4 times in the middle of his press conference trying to stop things short to hear if Shedeur got his name called, and it kind of never ended up happening, which was painful to kind of watch, but also a little awkward. What stood out to you in that facet?
Yeah, I actually thought the Travis thing was cool with me. Like, I get it. That's his brother, Shedeur, and he's falling. And I think, to me, that ends up being the biggest story we have Friday. I'm actually and was different because you see the cameras on ESPN with it. But I actually was a little down seeing all the shots of SHEDEUR. Like, no matter what you think about him, man, like, 20th pick, you show him on camera. 25th pick, you show him on. Like, the guy's not going today. It's not the best day of his life. I get it. You give him a little bit of a breather. To me, that was probably the most awkward moments. I think he and his team handled it well.
Yeah.
He did a little speech after and said, hey, this is not what anybody expected, but it's going to fuel you. And, guys have waited a long time and still had good careers. Lamar Jackson waited till 32. Jalen Hurts waited till the second round. And I still remember all of Philly was up in flames. Why would you draft a quarterback when you got Carson Wentz? Sometimes it just works out the way that you don't expect. So that was a little awkward for me to see, but I think we'll hear SHEDEUR's name pretty early today, and he'll be fine.
My day 2 projection here, and I'm going to get yours after mine. You talked about how Philly reacted. You have a quarterback. You drafted Jalen Hurts. My day 2 projection, the Dolphins fans are singing a similar but opposite tune. You got a quarterback under contract for a while, but you go and get a guy, and instead of being mad and up in flames, they'd actually probably be rejoicing a little bit. Cam Wolf.
Okay.
What's your bold day 2 projection or prediction here that you think might happen in rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL draft?
That's interesting. Your projection is interesting. I do think Miami gets a quarterback. I just think it'll be close to day 3. I look at the kid from Oregon, Dylan Gabriel, lefty that plays similar to Tua, and maybe he's a guy for them. But day 2, I don't know if there's a ton of surprises that you could have at day 2.
Where do you think Luther Burden will go? I like Luther Burden a lot out of Missouri. The dude's a dog.
Yeah, I think he'll go in the top 5 picks today.
Yeah.
Maybe Cleveland's a spot for them. They could use a receiver after passing on Travis, but I think he was another guy that the media was probably a little higher on than teams. He's more of a yards after catch guy. There's questions on, can he do the full route tree? But he's got a lot of explosion, and I think he'll go pretty high today.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Well, I'll let you.
I think you'll see both of the Ohio State running backs go in the first 10 picks of the second round today.
There we go.
There's two. They have two running backs, Travion Henderson and Judkins, I believe, is the other guy, and I think they'll both go in the first 10 picks of the second round.
The way them dudes was balling against me in CFB 25 all year, every time I played somebody that had they better go in the dang first couple of picks. Crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Cam Wolf, appreciate your time, man. Stay warm, which I guess ain't much of a problem these days in Cleveland. And good luck with all the picks that's going to be flying off the board tonight, dog.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sirski. That is our guy, Cameron Wolf, the man, the myth, the legend. He spends almost as much time covering the NFL as he does on the golf course. And he also makes sure he taps in here about once a week on Theoretically Speaking to drop some good news from the inside. And he joined us right there on the Baptist Health Hotline. That's how you kick off a Feel Good Friday. A football Friday, kind of, if you think about it, right? CK, it's kind of a football Friday.
It is.
Yeah.
We have football to talk about, and it's Friday. Ergo, it is a football Friday.
A feel-good football Friday. Cam Wolf, who tapped in on the Baptist Health Hotline to drop some gems, some good nuggets for us to feed off of for the rest of the couple of hours here on Theoretically Speaking. But I ask you this, the same as I asked Wolf, you can join the Baptist Health Hotline and let me know. What was your biggest shocker, your biggest surprise from day 1 out in Green Bay? 32 picks off the board. Couple of trades here and there, none more impressive and monumental than the Jaguars moving up from 5-2 to get the man, Travis Hunter, Heisman-winning cornerback and wide receiver. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Call in on the Baptist Health Hotline. Let me know your biggest shock, your biggest surprise from day 1 of the NFL draft. 888-760-3776. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resource of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. Day 1 surprises from the NFL draft. To me, the most shocking thing that happened, it was the biggest thing that happened, and it was the Jacksonville Jaguars actually pulling off the blockbuster trade. We were at the Boynton Beach Arts and Culture Center right there in Boynton Beach, the city that Travis Hunter grew up in, where he first touched the football field, the gridiron with the Boynton Beach Bulldogs. Fun fact, C-Cat, by the way, first ever player from the Boynton Beach Bulldogs youth football program to get drafted into the NFL was our guy Mike Rump, who is a former Miami Hurricane corner, played some safety. He was drafted 26 overall in 2002 to the Niners. Bill Tomei, who originated the Boynton Beach Bulldogs football program, he was asked to by the Boynton Beach Police Department. When they hosted the draft party for the first time ever in 2002, the Boynton Beach Bulldogs hosted a draft party because they knew one of their guys would go in the first round. He actually had a hookup with a apparel company because for Mike Rump, who everybody remembers, 0-1 national champion, great corner, was going to be good in the league, had some injuries with the Niners, great dude. He's back with the Hurricanes now. Mike Rump, he didn't know where he was going to go. So Bill Tomei had the hookup where he went and got a hat from every single team. He had 32 hats ready to go at that draft party that had hundreds of people packed out, and they waited until pick 26. Boom, the Niners get them. They come through with the Niners hat. Everybody's like, how the hell did you know? How the hell did you know? Bill's like, yo, I'm like that. I'm like that for real. Bill's that kind of guy. You remember him from when he pulled up a month ago and doing the show.
Well connected.
So last night at the draft party, obviously we were all thinking Browns, most of us, even though I did talk to some folks in Hunter's family who was like, we knew it was Jags all the way. I'm like, why didn't you tap me on the shoulder earlier? And we could have, hooked some stuff up. So last night I get to the stage right as Cam Ward's name is being picked. He's getting selected. I'm like, okay, it's time. We know the number 2 pick's about to happen. I wanted to go position myself up on stage to get a good video shot of Travis Hunter's family so we can get a good reaction video to play for YouTube and the audience here. Capture a moment. This is an amazing moment for not just the county, for the state, but also for the family. I wanted to make sure it was good. I'm in position. I pull my phone out. I hit the video button. I'm getting ready to record because I'm thinking Cleveland Browns come to the podium. They select Travis Hunter. As I pull my phone out, I get a tweet notification from, I believe, Adam Schefter that says, I couldn't even read it because it had happened so fast, but I saw somewhere in there Jaguars 2-5. And I said, oh my God, no. First thing that went through my mind was, we have a new teammate here, Andrew, who is a marketing facilitator who created this beautiful Travis Hunter drafted number 2 overall to the Cleveland Browns graphic. He made this thing around 4 o'clock. The draft ain't start till 8. His job was done for the day. He was good, and it looked great. And as soon as I saw that tweet notification, I said, oh, my God, we don't have any contingency plans. So I'm waving my hand frantically at the top of the stage because I can see the ESPN booth in the back of this auditorium at the Boynton Beach Arts and Cultural Center. I'm waving, like trying to get everybody's attention. But if you know anything about stages and lighting, I'm kind of in a shadow spot. The bright lights is on the big projector, which was showing the actual draft. So everybody in the audience couldn't really see me. Waving my hands, trying to get their attention, to get them to make a new graphic. I knew something was about to go down. Thankfully, somebody got word eventually. Andrew was able to go run into the hallway, pull his laptop out, edit the Browns graphic, change it over to say Jaguars, and have it ready in time for the pick. Obviously, the Jaguars come up to the stage, and this is what really saved us for time. It was annoying for me as a guy that was up there trying to get video of the reaction. But damn it, how long of an intro do we need from Eric Armstead, who I get it. He's Walter Payton Man of the Year. That was the moment and everything. But dude went for like 3 minutes before he called Travis Hunter's name. Yeah. It was a prolonged intro.
So that saved you. The long intro saved you and got you in position. Because people don't think about that. On a day where these 32 men are having their lifelong dreams fulfilled, the real winners, it's the media.
Oh, yeah. It's all about us.
That's who really you should be thinking about when you're watching a 6-hour draft broadcast on ESPN, on ABC, or on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
It's not about athletes being created into millionaires, which is a little bit less dramatic now they get paid in college.
They're already millionaires.
But yes, they have finally fulfilled that lifelong dream. No, Theo got the spot and got the reaction he wanted for our YouTube page.
It's what we needed. And you know what? Now I'm a hero. Now I'm a hero here at ESPN West Palm, but that's not even the cap to the story. After it all happens and I get the video and I'm like, great. So the pick happens. Eventually Eric Armstead's done with his big delivery, which again, by the way, that was slated to go at the number 5 pick. So it makes sense. Number 2 pick is a little clunky to do that right after we had all of those other, you know what I'm saying? It was just too early for one of those, but I get it. It was a trade up. So then I'm like, oh, snap. I'm wondering how Bill is going to pull off the hat situation thing here, because I'm sure he was thinking Browns, he was thinking Giants, but outside of that, you're not thinking Travis is going to slip past 3. That was the ceiling.
Yeah, the conversation was like Ashton Genty maybe going to become a Jaguar, if anyone crazy.
Yeah. Jaguars was not really, there was rumblings. And again, a guy Cam Wolf kind of knew him, and he couldn't tip anybody off because he's with the NFL Network. But anyways, but as I'm filming it and I'm thinking that, dang it, he probably doesn't have a hat for Travis Hunter's grandma, Shirley Hunter, to throw on out of nowhere. Just like he did in 2002. Bill Tomate, a legend, the director of the Boynton Beach Pool Dogs and the Boynton Beach Police Athletic League, comes out with 2 crispy, pristine Jacksonville Jaguars caps, slaps one on Shirley, puts one on himself, and I think I might have shed a thug tear in that right eye right there. I said, man, my boy came through in the clutch again. That was crazy.
Now, back in 2002, where did he get selected, Humph?
26th
in
the first round. You had a lot of weight. He said, Bill told me it was an open bar.
Yeah, you need all 32.
You do.
With Hunter, how many hats do you think he actually printed?
I got to ask Bill and see exactly how many he got. He told me he was ready for a few different scenarios, so I'm guessing he probably had Browns, probably had Giants. You probably want to get the Patriots, too, because they're right there in striking distance.
I mean, people can trade up. Like, you can ship, like you said, quarterback haul. If the Steelers wanted a quarterback haul, like they trade up from 21, like there's a lot of situations you got to prepare for where maybe all 32 might be the only way you feel safe.
Also, who's getting the refund for all the 31 other hats? You just got 31 NFL hats now. I'm about to text Bill right now. I'm going to give that answer on the other side. What the hell? How many hats did he have at last night's Travis Hunter draft party? Because I know they're not free. He's going to have to do something with them afterwards. And also, what did he do with the 31 hats from the 2002 Mike Rump draft watch party?
Yeah, it's like how T-shirt companies have NBA Finals champions stuff printed out. It's more for Super Bowl because it's one game. But how at the Super Bowl, they have a champion for both teams. So you have immediate shirts printed to get onto the field to sell as soon as that game is over. And we experienced it at TGL. There were champion shirts printed out for both the teams that were in the finals, whether it was New York or whether it was Atlanta. They're got to be somewhere. They're not just hidden in an attic somewhere.
They wouldn't give them to us. I asked multiple people. You know me.
Yes, you wanted the New York Golf Club championship T-shirts, even though New York Golf Club did not win the championship at TGL.
Would have made it even more better. It would have made it more special.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Also,
I would have loved it.
Who's checking you on that? Here's the thing. I would have wanted that shirt just for the novelty of me wearing it enough places to see who the first person who would call it out is.
Isn't there a misprint in a newspaper for a presidential election where someone holds up like, I don't know much about history.
I think it was this not with Nixon?
Nixon sounds about right, but wasn't Nixon a president?
Yeah.
Did he go for re-election and lose?
Or was it the Thurman? Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. Let's not mislead our audience. There's enough miseducation going on out there.
Mislead. They know it and we don't. That's what's happening right now. True. We're not teaching anybody.
That's everybody's at home like, what the hell are these two idiots talking about? But what I do know is that, again, last night, we're going to always remember the 2025 NFL Draft as the Travis Hunter Draft. The trade between the Browns and the Jaguars will be immortalized as one of those that are either go horribly wrong for one or the other parties. Who's this right here?
This is Dewey defeats Truman.
Oh,
that's the
Truman.
newspaper.
See, I said the T guy.
But that's not what happened.
Truman won.
I don't remember a President Dewey.
Nah.
He made the decimal system in libraries.
That's
No. Truman. That was the president, but the newspaper had it wrong. Thanks a lot, Chicago
And that's Truman
Daily
holding
Tribune.
it, though, right? Truman's holding the Dewey defeats Truman thing as a joke. I think that's what the whole thing was.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would be the dramatic irony.
You don't know what Truman looks like, though, so you're not sure.
You know, we never met. I can't quite place the face. I know the name.
Oh, my gosh. Get around more NFL draft as well as who actually did win the Browns and Jaguars trade. And in order to do so, we'll go back to a couple of other historic trades that happened where guys traded up into the top 10 for a non-quarterback. We'll see how it worked out on both sides. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. Shout out Jackson State. Shout out HBCUs on a day like today. The number 2 overall pick, an alumnus of the Tigers. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, Kevin Dalton here from the Unlimited Auto Wash Clubs. Time to start getting your ride ready for summer. Stop by the Unlimited Auto Wash Clubs and try out one of our best wash packages, the Ultimate Plus. It gives you everything your car needs inside and out, including our ceramic graphene coating. Or try one of our unlimited monthly plans, starting as low as $34.95 a month, or with inside and out plus tire shine starting as low as $49.95 a month. Visit any one of our 6 convenient locations or call 561-WASH-ME-TOO.
NFL Draft Week on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by the Breakers Palm Beach, Hard Rock Bet, and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Hear every draft pick on ESPN 106.3.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent accidents and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Can I make an admission, C-Cat?
Please.
And maybe this is just the, careful journalist in me. Obviously, as those that know me, I've spent eight plus years in the TV industry as a serious TV talking head. But not a talking head, really a journalist, a reporter. So I want to get things correct. I hate having errors. But every time I type in, like, Shedeur Sanders or write his name up, I'm about to send this poll out of who the Browns should leave day 2 of the NFL draft with between Jalen Milroe, Shedeur Sanders, Tyler Shuck, or none of them. I always fact-checked how to spell Shedeur. It's like E before U, right? Like,
yeah, I struggle with that too.
Shedeur, because it's just not a name. I think it's E before U.
It is E before U.
S-H. See, there we go. So that's the issue too. Sometimes I go S-H-A for Shedeur, but it's really SHEDEUR. SHEDEUR. SHEDE. No A's. So just want to get that out of the way. Also, as a journalist and as a reporter in this area in Palm Beach County, I'm very aware of the prestigious Kaiser University. Not just how great their athletic programs are, but also how great their golf coaching center is at Kaiser University. There's so many different ways to test and improve your golf game fast at the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. They have the facilities, the tools, and, of course, the coaching you need so you can enjoy the best facilities in the area with outdoor facilities, including an expansive chipping and putting area. They got practice bunkers, a huge putting green, a full swing practice area. That's not the best part. Best part is the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 different hitting bays, a private classroom, and is complete with cutting-edge video and ball flight technology. This stuff helps you train like a pro. Before you hit the links again, hit up the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. It's right in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike, or just go online, KaiserGolfCenter.com. That's KaiserGolfCenter.com. CCAT, what was the biggest shock to you? I mean, I know you don't like the NFL draft. You are a big time, detractor of the draft. I have one take about the draft, and I'll get to that later about the city of Green Bay, but what shocked you the most out of round 1?
What shocked me the most is how Mel Kiper carried himself, and more so carried the water for Shedeur Sanders.
It was
You would
crazy.
have thought that Mel Kiper gave birth to Shedeur Sanders, and someone was slapping him in the face every single time he was not selected. Like every single pick, somehow the conversation went to Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Cam Ward didn't even step on the stage before Shedeur Sanders was brought up, and he was the number 1 pick in the draft. That was the one thing that took my breath away.
So it was weird. It felt pointed. I will say that. It felt like it was intentional, like he knew what might happen and he wanted to make sure he got out ahead of things. I also have this really, and this is more of a theory. Again, a theory. Nobody use this against me in the future. Nobody take too much into this.
What?
It's just a theory. I believe a lot of the national media, especially many of people at ESPN, right there at the mothership, but also elsewhere, are afraid of Deion Sanders.
Really?
They're afraid to upset Deion and Team Deion and the Colorado conglomerate that is Coach Prime. And I'm not saying this this doesn't make them bad journalists. This doesn't make them bad analysts, because at the end of the day, there also could be them just trying to also pour water on all of the hate that goes Shedeur's way. But I do see a overcompensation from certain people. I'm not accusing Mel Kiper of this either. Maybe he is really high on Shedeur. There's an overcompensation of people to be careful about what they say about the Sanders kids.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see that. I think that this industry has seen much, much more powerful, influential, popular people other than Deion Sanders, and that has not stopped this industry, sports journalism and sports entertainment journalism, from attacking those people.
All right.
Like LeBron James is relentlessly attacked day in and day out for cannon fodder, for entertainment, to keep eyeballs, to keep ears, and there is not someone more popular, entertaining, and just influential than LeBron James.
Okay.
People are afraid of the Sanders estate.
I hear
like
what
this is
you're
not Boulder,
saying.
Colorado, and it's not
All
a
right.
student journalist who didn't call him Coach Prime or Coach, or they didn't call him Deion. This is a national media outlet.
I'm not saying they should be. I'm saying that they offer much. They're much more careful, and they also are much more apologetic on the back end. I watched a guy, and again, he's definitely not anybody that is anybody's modeling after or inspired by, nor is he a symbol of what is happening in the greater sports media. But
I'm excited
Emmanuel
who's coming
Acho.
up. Okay.
Emmanuel Acho. I knew you wanted me to get to it.
I know. I was wondering,
Yeah.
who are we prefacing? That
Yeah.
wasn't that bad. I mean,
What do you mean?
there are sports media figures that are going through much worse allegations and things
Whoa,
right now than
yeah,
Emmanuel
yeah,
Acho.
yeah.
I don't think that deserved that much of a predecessor.
I meant to say this as in he does not set the tone for anything that's going on in sports media.
Okay.
He's
not the
a
industry standard.
No, he's not. He's an anomaly. He's a one-off. He's over there. He's Emmanuel Acho. You take him with a grain of salt with many of things he says. I watched as a couple of days ago before the draft, he put out a video praising Jackson Dart and simply asking the question, could this tape that we're watching here of Dart be the reason why many people have Jackson Dart as the second best quarterback in this class ahead of SHEDEUR Sanders? That's all he did. He put out like a 2.5-minute tape of Dart's, his action at Ole Miss. He asked the question out loud on Twitter. I think it was quote tweeted by not Shiloh Sanders, but the kid Deion Jr., the kid who does the social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he criticized them in some way. He said something pointed like, you ain't with us, whatever. And the next tweet from Acho, now Acho's a dude that generally stands 10 toes down. He doubles down on a lot of the ridiculous takes he has. He is a rage baiter at times. He is a click baiter at times. But the dude generally never folds or apologizes. He pretty much apologized.
For mundane draft conversation.
He backed off. And again, that's just
lay down his arms.
That was just one example of what I've seen many people do. But there's and this is, again, I'm not trying to point out anybody individually. So you know what? Maybe I'll give no further examples, but I will tell you, I've watched the way that people speak about Cam Ward. I've watched the way that people even speak about Jackson Dart. And I've watched the criticisms that come out about SHEDEUR Sanders. And it's one of two things. Either they are afraid to upset, Coach Prime and his camp and the many people that are in his following, because he does have a cult-like following. Or they see how much hate and they see how much vitriol and they see how much water that people are trying to pour on SHEDEUR to make his life a living hell, that they're trying to also, be like, hey, the guy's not great, but he's not as bad as y'all are saying. Maybe they're just trying to
it's
cover
just
for the BS that happens around SHEDEUR.
It's annoying in this industry. Can't you just tell us what you think about a guy? This is football, and this is running a football team.
The issue is no, you can't just tell some people what you think about a guy, because there's the people that go far in the opposite direction. It's what you do all the time, C-Cat. C-Cat, you always act as if you're the bastion for the underdog or the belittled, or you go against popular opinion. So when you see somebody getting hurled on, you tend to be more favorable to that person. I think there's a part of that in some of the people that are in the middle, like even myself. I don't think SHEDEUR Sanders is going to be a franchise quarterback. I don't think he's a needle mover in the same way that Cam Ward is, in the same way that even Jalen Milroe at his ceiling can be. So I wouldn't want him to be the quarterback of my team, but he's definitely not as bad as people are making him out to be. Yeah, he's confident. He might be more confident than he is competent, which is always an issue, but I want somebody who believes in themselves at that position. I just hope that wherever he does end up getting drafted, he ingratiates himself to that locker room. He makes people believe in him and want to play for him, and he begins to take more accountability. It might be hard. We haven't asked this question. Of all of the flaws you try to point out with SHEDEUR's game, have we asked how difficult it might be to be middle management, the quarterback, and also have your dad be the head coach? It comes with a lot of blessings, I'm sure, but it also could be difficult for him to lead in the way that he would want to do out on his own. I'm interested to see wherever he goes, how he becomes his own man and leads on his own out from the shadow of his pops, who's done a great job of raising him. But it's clear there's a different level of accountability you have to have if you are the head coach, or if you are the head coach's son, specifically playing the quarterback position. I'm not surprised Jackson Dart went first. I said it would happen yesterday.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
I thought, okay. There were a couple of scenarios that were tossed back and forth, and some were very vehemently that if the Saints draft a quarterback, vehemently.
Yeah, it's all good.
There's another syllable in there.
That's a big word for Elmo.
You were
vehemently.
You were You were confident. You were. You said 10 toes down. That if the Saints take a quarterback, that it would be SHEDEUR, not Jackson Dart.
I didn't say that.
You said, okay, well, you know what?
We can play it back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's play it back, because there was a report from CBS Sports from Aditi, and I told you she had terrible information. She said Jackson Dart would not get past number 9 overall. She was like, this is what I'm hearing. If you believe in me here at CBS Sports, believe in what I'm saying, and that is that Jackson Dart will not go past number 9 at the Saints in last night's NFL draft. And as soon as you said it, I knew it was a lie, and I know it was a lie because of what I said. Do we have it? Let's roll. The Saints are not drafting Jackson Dart. Not only are the Saints not going to draft Jackson Dart, they don't even like him. They don't want him. I'm telling you that right now. I guarantee it. That's my one draft guarantee for tonight. The Saints will not be drafting Jackson Dart, and they definitely ain't doing it at number 9. That's bad reporting out of CBS Sports.
Hey, you know what? I misquoted you.
Yeah, thank you. I also misquoted myself because I also.
Wow, you could have gotten away with that because I was only thinking about how I was wrong, not how you were wrong.
We were both wrong, but I was right. We can say that, like, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was wrong in what I thought I said, but you were wrong in saying I said they would get Shedeur, and then also I was right because I said they were not getting Dart at 9. That was silly.
Yeah, I mean, of course, hindsight's 2020. It was like 13 picks later that Jackson Dart got selected, or maybe I'm bad at math.
Yeah.
The Giants traded back up to get him. Did it really shock you? Did it blow you away that it was Jackson Dart who was the second quarterback off the board?
Number one, Greeny, hey, I know you're great at these teases. You are the standard when it comes to radio teases and TV teases. You're amazing at getting us to hang on through the commercial break and then wait for the other side to see what happens. Your tease is ruined in the NFL draft when a team trades up and then you show the cam on both quarterbacks that they might be selecting, and it was the Giants, obviously, that traded up to number 25. They showed Shedeur Sanders standing stoically like he did all night, looking away from the camera, trying to act like it wasn't there, like Homer Simpson in that one little peel back into the bushes thing. And then they showed Jackson Dart and his family celebrating. He's on the phone. Somebody's popping champagne in the background. And here's Greeny. Here's Greeny. Who are the Giants going to pick? Who knows?
It's got to be a quarterback. It's going to be one of these guys.
One of these two guys you're looking at on your TV screens. Who knows? And maybe the problem is Greeny is so good at radio. He's been doing it for so long that he might have forgot about the visual aspect.
Yeah,
he might have forgot we could see it.
It tipped his hand. He was playing poker, and he had reflective glasses on, and you could see that he had a full house sitting right there in his hands.
At that point, if you're the producers or if you're Greeny himself or anybody, you should just tell, hey, guy, like, hey, okay. He should have alluded to the fact that it was given away by the picture we were looking at.
I don't know how these breaks work at a scale like that.
Yeah.
Do they need to break between those picks? Could they have shifted that to one pick later so that we didn't feel stupid or be treated like we were stupid going through the break? Like, wait a second, I think I know. Is this something from like last night? What's going on here?
I think it was a scheduled TV timeout. I also think that when trades happen, for some reason, even though you know when a team trades up, they know immediately who they want. It always seems like there's like 3 or 4 minutes that elapse.
That's a big workout, man.
There's like 3 minutes that go on between the trade being announced and the team coming up and picking their player, and I wonder if that's like an operations thing on the back end where the NFL has to verify things and stamp things and sign off on stuff, and that's likely why they went to break there.
Okay.
And it might have been a scheduled break anyway, so it might have made sense. Speaking of scheduled breaks, I think we have one right here.
We sure do.
Huh.
We're a well-oiled machine here where we take the breaks when we need to take the breaks.
Am I Teddy or am I Greeny? Let's see how great of a tease I have for you guys. That's what'll let you know. That's what'll let you know. Before I give you my salacious tease, can I tell the good people about an event? Is it event season?
We'll talk about the event.
All right, we don't want to talk events. We don't want to talk events. We would rather talk Miami F1.
Yeah.
Which is not an event. It is an experience. Yeah. Change the music up. Get pumped. Mm-hmm. It is an experience, not an event. We're talking about the 2025 Formula One Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix. Now, I say this kind of in jest, but I also mean it with my heart. You're not going to want to miss out on this one. There's a reason why I'm talking about this now and often. The 2025 Formula One Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix is here, May 2nd through the 4th. It's going to be an excellent weekend at Hard Rock Stadium at the F1 campus there. Visit F1MiamiGP.com to explore your ticket options and secure your spot at the 2025 Formula One Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix. The race, that's an experience. I'm going to tell you right now, I went last year for the first time. It was an elegant time. I went with my wife. Actually, you know who I ran into there? I went with my guy, Cameron Wolf.
Hey!
We were howling with the Wolf at F1 Miami, and the great part about it is there's so many different restaurants and activations and things to do outside of just watching the race, right? You get to see the cars speed by, but you also get to be a part of an experience that when you go there in person, you'll realize why so many influencers and people that live their lives on social media go and post about it, because it feels like an elevated experience, not just a race. So immerse yourself in all the action all weekend long. Unparalleled access to different campus zones, thrilling activities, live entertainment, and endless food and beverage options. For less than $150 a day, you can secure your campus pass, and tickets are going fast. F1MiamiGP.com. F1MiamiGP.com for the 2025 Formula One Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix. Oh, man. That got my blood going, my energy up. I'm excited.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the set of Need for Speed. Wait, is that the...
That's a video game.
Yeah, Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious. There you go.
Yeah. There was like video games on my PS2 that looked like that was Need for Speed, like number 1, number 2, whatever.
Yeah.
And I always got those two confused.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Now
Paul
you know.
Walker, Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, The Rock.
Yes,
Fast
The Rock.
and Furious. Ludacris. Luda. Too Fast, Too Furious was the best one.
Jason Statham. And who is the lady? The lady who's like either the sister or the wife of Vin Diesel. That's a very important delineation to make.
Okay, Jessica
Penelope
Alba.
Cruz.
Okay. We'll have to agree to disagree.
You're wrong. I know that. I don't know if I'm right.
We'll have to agree to disagree. The biggest trade up for a receiver since, well, I'll tell you on the other side. Plus, we have to get around to jump on some stuff around the NBA, including how in the hell did the Grizzlies get bounced like that last night? Weren't they up by like 80,000 points?
And also, be nice to Draymond Green. Please.
We got to explain yourself on that. Theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami FC on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet. Home of the Miami Heat, now the new home of Inter Miami. Catch all the games and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sportsbook. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling, call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. The MLB valuations are out, and it's the usual suspects. You got the Yankees, you got your Dodgers, your Red Sox, your Cubbies, your Giants, but the Dodgers went from $4.8 billion to $5.8 billion in just 1 year. I guess that's what happens when you have Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and basically an unlimited bankroll to help your team every single offseason. But I found that interesting. The Dodgers, 4.8 to 5.8 billion, but the Yankees by far still number one with that 8 billion. 8 billion! This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management Program.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Cane's is coming soon to Tamarack at University and Commercial.
F45 Training West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life changing.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Chris in the YouTube chat, he presents a great point. And by the way, you can always stream us on YouTube at ESPN West Palm or tell your smart speaker play ESPN 1063. Chris says, explain why a guy who didn't get drafted receives so much more airtime than a guy who was drafted first. Cam was robbed of his moment by the Sanders aura. Chris, I'll tell you one thing. The reason why Cam Ward got less airtime was because he did get drafted, actually. I mean, that's part of the issue. Once you get drafted, it's kind of done.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so it's a good thing that Cam didn't get more airtime. I will say also we knew for the past 8 weeks Cam Ward would go number 1 overall.
People said Calvin Ridley is the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of tipped his hand.
Once you say that, we know exactly what's going down. And you're right. I do think that we didn't give enough love to Cam Ward. 4th in the Heisman voting, all-time passing touchdown leader in college football. But he's been overlooked at every stage of his journey, including before he entered Miami last year, and they said he would be a 6th-round projected pick. That's why he came back to college. I expect him to prove once again he's that guy, and he is. You know who's
Hey, Culligan man!
that guy, that dude, whatever you want to call it when it comes to water?
He's that man.
The Culligan man.
Hey, Culligan man!
It's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of your faucet, but the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about the plastics and pharmaceuticals that are now in the waters? Again, look it up yourself. Do your research, as a lot of the YouTubers say. Just Google it. Worst water in America. Florida, near the bottom of those rankings, no matter what list you look at. And if you don't believe me, have Culligan pull up to your house and test your water. See what you are consuming on a daily basis. See what you've been showering with on a day-to-day basis. See what you wash your clothes with, what runs through your water heater. See what is going into your family. Water is essential to life, and you want to make sure your water is right. Culligan understands that, and the team at Culligan will help remove all of the toxins, pharmaceuticals, plastics, all of that. They'll get it right out of your water. In fact, when they pull up and do your free water test, they'll tell you exactly what it is that's in there, what it could do to you, and why they have the tools to fix it. Culligan.com. Culligan.com is where to go today. Just say,
Hey, Culligan man!
And visit Culligan.com to schedule your free water test. And don't forget to let them know Big Teddy sent you. C-Cat, I'm getting a little antsy. The blood's going.
Stretch your feet.
Let me stretch my feet, strap up the seatbelt, and let's take a little ride.
I get around. What you mean you don't know?
To get around, we hit all the hot topics across the nation, city to city, place to place. It's our favorite vehicle, so how about you join us on our journey? Where are we going first?
Next stop.
Travis Hunter was one big draft surprise.
Well, what city are we in?
Excuse me.
Yeah, what city? Excuse me, conductor.
Stop.
Where the hell are we at?
It's felt reprimanded.
I don't know where I'm getting off at.
Next stop.
New York, New York. Welcome to the Big Apple.
Nice.
We have stopped at the Port Authority. Make sure you have your wallet in your front pocket, not your back pocket.
Because I'll get pickpocketed?
The Giants made a splash when they not only got Abdul Carter, but they traded back into the first round and drafted Jackson Dart. Let's take a listen to New York Sports Radio, The Fan, Boober and Gio, on how Gio thinks this went.
How many times have you watched him play?
How many times have you watched him play, Mike?
More than you.
How many times have you watched him play?
Jackass?
How many times? Seriously. You're a Giants fan, so you're going to suck off every one of their picks. He's from Ole Miss like Eli. You're probably one of those sickos who sat there and defended Daniel Jones for 6 freaking years. Get over it. He's a pudgy Utah clapper.
Snap count.
How many games at Ole Miss? I don't need to watch any games at Ole Miss. How many games at BYU did I watch Zach Wilson play? 0, and I knew he was going to suck. He's a system quarterback in Lane Kiffin's offense. Go look up Matt Corral. How'd that work out?
Do you agree with Gio's assessment on the draft pick the Giants used to take Jackson Dart.
Wow. That's a lot to consume. It's a lot to consume at once. Rambunctious fellow he is.
Yeah.
I would say that I don't believe Jackson Dart's going to be a star in this league. I do think that if I were to bet who's going to work out long term between like Dart, Milroe, SHEDEUR, I probably would go Milroe just because the athletic traits. Nothing special about Dart or SHEDEUR to me. But specifically for the Giants, I just think that I get his frustration, this Gio fellow, because it feels like a quarterback room that's just like a pack of mid. And you know what you're going to get out of Russell Wilson, that's mid. You know what you're going to get out of Jameis Winston, that's going to be some mid that's entertaining. Tommy DeVito stinks, but he's fun. And Jackson Dart is obviously not a guy that many people believe in. Nobody else was racing up the draft boards to go back in and get him. The Steelers didn't blink at 21. They said, forget SHEDEUR, forget Jackson. We're going to go ahead and pick, a lineman? Yeah, there's reason for him to be acting that way. What I loved about the Giants draft was that they got Abdul Carter and that they were able to actually get a rookie quarterback. And I think that was more so to extend the job security of Daboll and Joe Shane and less to do with whether or not they believe Jackson Dart can be a franchise quarterback. He likely will be good. He'll be good enough to bridge, but I think they'll be drafting another quarterback the next 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
I am in love with the New York Giants. They're going back to basics. They're going back to OCU Manura, Chris Canty, Jason Pierre-Paul, Michael Strahan. That's how the Giants take Super Bowls, emphasizing the defensive line
Ole Miss quarterback.
And taking an Ole Miss quarterback.
Whoa.
And yes, the Jackson Dart thing is just because they went to the same school, but he is set up to succeed with that receiver core. Ooh. Malik Neighbors was great. But who is the other guy?
Wandale Robinson.
He was great too.
I thought you were in love. You forgot the guy's name. You're in love? You're so enamored.
We're far removed from fantasy football.
Okay.
That kind of escaped me a little bit.
You got Tyrone Tracy in the backfield. What I'll say is you got Brian Daboll, really. So I don't care how good. If you're mad at Jackson Dart for being a system quarterback, if you're saying that's his flaw, guess who makes system quarterbacks good?
You're putting him in a good system.
Yes. So you got Daboll, you got Neighbors, you got a lot of stuff around him, and you're right. That defensive line, I mean, Dexter Lawrence, maybe the best defensive tackle in the league. You got, on both sides now, Abdul Carter, who was the best edge in this draft. You got Brian Burns, who you just traded for last year, and they picked up the 5th-year option on Kayvon Thibodeau, who now has a bit more of a chip on his shoulder because it's like, oh, whoa. Y'all picking an edge rusher? Before y'all extend me, y'all are just picking up my 5th-year option. I got something to play for this year. That Giants D-line is going to be scary.
Next stop.
Let's go to Jacksonville, Florida, because they made the big splash. They traded up from 5 to 3 to 2, to take Travis Hunter. Here is first-year GM, James Gladstone, making a big splash in his message to the fans about the big show-stopping move to get Travis Hunter in teal.
I probably got some familiarity with the them picks sort of process. So for our fans, I'll tell you, don't be scared. This is something I'm uniquely positioned to navigate, and we ended up bringing Travis Hunter to Jacksonville, and with that, he is somebody who is deserving of a first-round draft pick as a wide receiver, and he is worthy of a first-round draft pick as a corner.
First off, both Liam Cohen and James Gladstone, I always get his name wrong, both really quirky and kind of odd dudes. I think that's a good thing because they'll be less distracted with things outside of football. They seem like guys that dedicate their life to figuring out how do I make this football product better, whereas, some dudes, again, when you got a little bit more charisma, a little bit more going on, you might be off the field a little bit more. You might, your head might wander. I like that for them.
They might be what Mike McDaniel thinks he is.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel actually does care about his image a little bit more than he's willing to admit. But he wants to be that quirky guy, that football scientist. They might be living, not just talking the talk.
They actually are, I believe. And watching the Buccaneers last year, that offense with Baker, it was so creative. Having a tool like Trevor Lawrence and weaponizing him with a guy like Travis Hunter, I'm excited about. Dominic in our YouTube chat, and again, at ESPN West Palm on YouTube if you want to comment into the show, he said, will Travis Hunter be great at both positions or will he be better at one more than the other? I say, Either way, that's a good thing. If we have to have a debate, like if this time next year we're having to debate which position was Hunter better at, the Jaguars won that trade. Because I know he's going to be an elite weapon as receiver, and we've seen guys pop in year one at that position in crazy ways. Look at Malik Neighbors last year, Brian Thomas Jr. last year. Look at the years before that, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Like, we've seen guys of that ilk be amazing in their first season. We also have seen defensive backs pop as well. Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley. He had a rough first year, but his second year was better. And then you look at a guy like Surtain out in Denver. Travis Hunter is going to be great at both positions. He'll be a top 5 player at some point in time in his career at both in the same season, and that's the year I believe he'll be an MVP. He is the most important player in the Jaguars locker room, not the guy that they named the stadium after for a very brief moment last year in Trevor Lawrence.
I think we'll talk about it next segment, next hour, guaranteed, about who won that trade in actuality. So I'll tease and save that and bring us
such a tease.
Next stop
to our second to last stop, and that is San Francisco, California, or it's Houston, Texas.
Okay, 2 places.
Because Steve Kerr is fighting for his guy and is kind of fed up with opposing crowds, namely the Houston fans, chanting, what?
Not ideal when a crowd is, chanting F you, Draymond. It's just, I don't know. I mean, they did it in Boston a few years ago in the finals. It is what it is. He's been around forever. He's an instigator. He's always going to be in the mix, and because of his career, his championships, his fire, he's going to be a lightning rod, and that's all part of it. I would prefer, if fans could use a little more discretion and, remember that, the guy has kids, and maybe I'm old school, but I'm all for the fans cheering for their team, and if they want to yell at the opponents, great, but I don't know. I just think FU it's a little much.
Fair or foul, fans chanting FU Draymond. Not probably saying F.
Yeah, fair. I mean, for one, it's sports, it's fans. They can chant things. Secondly, all the characteristics he listed about Draymond can be also applied to Steph Curry, but there's a reason why people don't chant FU Steph Curry. You can't tell fans to filter their words about your guy, Draymond Green, when you also can't look at him and tell him to filter his words about everybody else. Like, have you seen the things he said about Rudy Gobert, unsolicited? Have you seen the things he just outwardly says on TNT? Have you seen the ways in which he contorts his body to make sure he connects foot to sack? And I ain't talking about taking down a quarterback. Yeah, Draymond Green, not the ideal candidate for you to be taking your shield up for. And trying to bait a crowd or telling a crowd in the midst of a playoff series to stop chanting something that is not the crowd of your own home team is the perfect way to get them to chant it more.
Yes.
Like, you kind of screwed yourself. Like, I wonder if Steve Kerr wants them to do it more. Is this like a reverse psychology, Phil Jackson-esque type thing he's doing
Light
here?
a fire under Draymond Green, maybe?
Yeah, because if Draymond is fueled by that kind of hate.
Oh, because that feels... Yeah, you're
That's
exactly
amazing.
right. Like, I don't think Draymond Green would ever say, stop chanting that to me.
Loves it.
The man in the arena being the bad guy, he's built a career on this. He embraces it.
Steve Kerr is a genius. I just realized it. I just literally, I wasn't even thinking it. I talked myself into it. Steve Kerr knows what's going to happen. If you tell fans not to do something, it's like telling a kid not to push that red button. House going to blow up. Next time they're in Houston, we'll be hearing a lot of FU Draymonds, and at that point, probably going to be I wonder what that series is actually going to look like. Do the Warriors get both at home? We'll see.
Next stop.
Man, this trip has been amazing.
Okay.
But I'm hungry, man. Okay. We got to stop at our local Duffy's.
There we go. I was trying to figure out where you were going there, and you know what? Whenever the train stops at a Duffy's, the get around, everybody on the get around is excited and happy because they know they are once again at the best sports grill, as they were voted once again in 2024, Duffy Sports Grill. They're the best. They're award-winning burgers. They're award-winning wings. Let's get it. They got weekday lunch deals, including the Duffy's Double Play. What's in that? Well, I can tell you it's $7.99. And Duffy's 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day are one of the biggest selling points to the Duffy's Sports Grill franchise. Make sure you sign up right now today. Go to Duffy'sMVP.com, get your MVP card, and start earning rewards today. You got 80 or more televisions in every single location, so no matter where you're at, no matter which one you pull up to, you know that any game you want to see, you'll get that waitress or waiter to put it on, and you'll be living large. Duffy's Sports Grill, Duffy'sMVP.com. At Duffy's, our game is always on. Time for the happy hour. The homie Tina, who was with us at the Boynton Beach Arts and Cultural Center last night for the Travis Hunter draft party, she comes with tales from said party, and also she comes with a cocktail for the day. It's Friday. Feel Good Friday. Football Friday. Can't leave your throats dry. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Breaking news from Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. No tariffs on all new Kias. Put your tax refund to work today. That's right. While others talk tariffs, Greenway Kia gives you unbeatable deals. Tariff-free. Turn your tax refund into your dream ride now. Like a 2024 Kia Telluride starting at just $38,998. That's thousands less than the competition. Plus 0% financing available on select models and tariff-free pre-owned vehicles ready to roll. Got a trade? Push it, pull it, drag it. Any make, any miles, any condition. We'll take it. Got a job making $350 a week? Our lenders want to approve you. Put your tax refund to good use. Drive away tariff-free today at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or visit GreenwayKiaWestPalmBeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval terms, plus tax tag and $9.99 admin fee. Negative equity refinanced. Offers don't combine.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Join the hunt for a Stanley Cup with ESPN West Palm and Yingling. Watch Game 3 of the Florida Panthers Tampa Bay Lightning series with us Saturday at the Hive in Lantana. Face-off is at 1 o'clock. The ESPN West Palm Street team will be hanging out with your opportunity to play Cup Pong for Yingling promo items, plus enjoy Yingling Happy Hour for $3 bottles and $4 drafts. It's all going down at the Hive, 2412 Floral Road in Lantana. Yingling, the oldest brewery in America, a proud partner of the Florida Panthers.
Experience the thrill of Formula One in Miami, May 2nd through the 4th. For the first time, one-day grandstand tickets are available starting at just $65. Feel all the rush of the 3-day grandstand ticket with the most immersive experience at the best value. Choose your vantage point with the breathtaking views of all the action. Visit F1MiamiGP.com to explore grandstand options and secure a spot at the 2025 Formula One Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix. The race that's an experience.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com.
As market dynamics change, the quality of service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver where others can't. Visit ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
And in the first round of the NFL Draft, ESPN 106.3 selects
NFL Draft Week on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by Twin Peaks, Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning, and the Boca Raton Bowl.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Especially those that joined us last night at the Boynton Beach Culture and Arts Center as we hosted, alongside with the city of Boynton Beach and the Boynton Beach Police Department, the Travis Hunter Draft Watch Party with the Boynton Beach Bulldogs as well, the first football team he ever suited up for. Now we know he'll be suiting up back in the Peach State, or not the Peach State, the Sunshine State. What am I doing? I used to work in Georgia. Travis Hunter to the Jaguars. Number 2 overall. Jacksonville went up and got their guy. No, not a quarterback, but a unicorn. The Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah, they sent out a lot of future assets, but they're not concerned because they got a guy that is maybe the singular most unique asset, player, person in the league. Maybe even in the history of the league. Travis Hunter going to send shockwaves through the AFC South for as long as the Jaguars are able to retain his services. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. It's a feel-good Friday. It's a football Friday. Sea-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the 1s and the 2s. He wasn't with us last night. He was here making sure everything ran well. But Tina was actually one of the first people in. First one in, last one out at the Boynton Beach Culture and Arts Center. And Tina, I appreciate you setting things up. How much fun was that last night?
It was so fun, and just being there and feeling the energy from the family and the, family of Travis Hunter, the community around Travis Hunter. It was awesome.
Yes.
You could just my heart was pounding of just excitement for them as we were waiting for the pick to come in. It was awesome.
It was a great time. Shirley Hunter, his grandma, she popped
cute.
out in the pink.
Yes.
Come on, dog.
Was that planned?
No, that Travis Hunter had the pink jacket. And I don't want to say no because I didn't ask her if it was planned or not. She wears bright pink a lot.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember when she came to Theoretically Speaking about a month ago or so. She came over to the studios. She had a bright pink outfit on that day as well. I think that's just her style. Travis Hunter, he had on what I like to call a countryman suit. That bright pink like that on that brother, I can tell he's a fisherman. A brother from the South who is also country is always going to pop out in the loud suit, and Travis Hunter showed us that he has that in his bag. So, no comment on that.
I liked his style. No, I liked his style, like the black pants.
Country.
The black.
It was country. I'm not saying it was bad. It's just it ain't me. It ain't for me. Travis Hunter, that's you. You liked it too, Tina. So that's good. It was country, and I'm not saying that as a prerogative or in a bad way. Prerogative.
Prerogative. You're thinking a derogative, my friend.
Thank you.
You're the professional talker in this relationship.
I know. That's a big word for him. You're the person that's supposed to have the soundboard potted up. So look at that. So yes, he had the bright pink. It reminds me of about I want to say 8 years ago. I had the blessing, one of my first times getting a one-on-one with the actual NFL player, Thomas Davis, former linebacker for the Carolina Panthers. He's from Randolph County, Georgia, in South Georgia, went to Randolph Clay High School. They had a Thomas Davis Day, and I was excited because back then, as you know, I was a Carolina Panthers fan, and it's one of the heroes of my fandom with Panthersdom, so I was excited for my interview with him. And when I got a chance to shake his hand and meet him and do the interview, he was wearing this bright red, like bright red suit. And that reminded me instantly that this is a country man. It's a country dude. Country dudes from the South, especially brothers, always pop out in loud, bright colored suits. And, you know, it's their style. It's
but
their
you'll
thing.
never forget it. Like, we're talking about it today.
Yeah.
You'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll never forget Travis Hunter.
We will never forget
jacket.
Travis Hunter. I'm trying to forget the jacket, but we will never forget what he means to the game of football and the sport. Here's why.
Is that the most famous pink jacket you can think of ever in history?
Yeah, that's got to be.
So.
Especially for somebody that made his hay in South Florida. Like, Travis Hunter, we got to think of like a moniker for him, like pink suit, corner.
No, it wasn't a full suit.
Pink jacket guy? Feller?
I don't know.
Heisman winner.
It's a working title.
Okay, we'll work on it. We'll workshop it. So what I will say, and again, Jalen in the YouTube chat says, Will Campbell with the best suit of the night. I can't go against that. Matthew Golden, not only was his dismount terrible when he said, Green Bay on 3, I think his suit was bad as well. He might be country as well. It was like loud yellow or gold. It was bad.
That just makes me anxious of like having to figure out an outfit for the NFL draft. For something you are only at once in your life, I wouldn't know what to wear. It would be weeks for me to figure out an outfit.
Well,
tough decisions
get a
to make.
stylist. Get a stylist. I know some great stylists.
Yes, I would get a stylist for sure.
Yeah, get a stylist. You have last minute approval process or whatever. You get to stamp what you wear. And again, I'm sure these guys did. JMP says nobody breaks down NFL draft like Espresso Martina in the YouTube chat.
Did you watch the full broadcast, Tina?
She was at
I was at the Travis Hunter.
So the party went the whole time?
Went for a while.
Well, we went for a bit. We left at around 9, and then I didn't get home till after 10.
Wow.
So.
And you didn't turn it on, right?
No.
It's a good decision to make.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
The NFL draft is a burden. It is not a reward for people that are waiting for football to start. It is the worst thing sports fans have to cling on to and pretend is entertaining. It's anything but. Like, we had a great moment. The Jaguars traded up to take the Browns pick and get Travis Hunter. Yeah, that's great. I could have gotten an Adam Schefter tweet, and that would have sufficed. That's it. That's all I needed.
You should have seen last night. I said this to Theo as we were waiting for the Titans pick. I go, what a moment and feeling when you have the first pick.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so exciting, and I'm like, I can't imagine what they're feeling. And then Theo is already videoing the pick, and he's like, "This is my guy.
Yeah,
I'm ready for this."
I was locked in on Cam Ward getting fit. That made my day. That made my college football year because the Canes disappointed me so much down the stretch. I said the only thing that could salvage it is Cam Ward going number 1 overall to the Titans, and it happened. So I'm excited. He's gonna be great.
Tina, are you wearing the headphones over your hair?
I don't know.
Is that a normal thing to do?
I don't know.
I'm sorry for the radio audience.
Yeah, she's wearing them over her hair.
These aren't the usual headphones I wear. I think these are Collins, and his head's massive.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's unnecessary.
What do you mean over my hair? How do I wear it under my hair?
Well, you put your hair behind them, right?
I don't think
my
you can
hair
do
is
that.
behind
it.
it.
Yeah, come on.
But this is only in front. My bangs are only in front, really.
I think she's doing the best she can.
What am I supposed to be doing?
As the self-proclaimed radio police, this is horrible by me, and
really?
I apologize to
what
our
is she
listening
supposed
audience.
to do?
What am I doing wrong?
What is Tina supposed to do with her headphones?
No.
We're going to take a screenshot.
I said it's horrible by me to bring it up, to bring this clearly visual reaction and attention-grabbing moment. I thought...
We'll go to the YouTube stream and you can see it.
Yes, that's where you should go to see if this looks incorrect. I don't know.
Something
looks incorrect
look
about
how
this.
big this headset is.
I think it's just a big headset.
This isn't my usual headset that I wear. I usually wear these pink headphones, and they're not in here right now, so I think these are Colin Russo's headphones, and his head is massive.
The pink
compared to mine.
headphones are right there, by the way.
Big headset, but is there hair between where the speakers are in the headset?
Yeah. No.
And
I don't
your
have
eardrums?
it. It would be weird,
why would she cut her hair? She's going to want her to
put
cut
it
her hair.
around it. Like,
put it around how?
Like, you know how you tuck your hair behind your ears sometimes?
Oh, so you want her to push her bangs behind and everything else behind the headphones?
I didn't see that.
He's just locked in on
I
you
know
right now.
something looked really
you
weird
staring
about
at me?
He's staring at you.
You look like a big head.
Wow.
I do. This looks. No, this
Oh
is
my
this
goodness.
headset.
I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with Espresso Martina
Wow.
because it's startling me.
I know. I was staring
Startling
at
and
myself,
bad.
and there's a there's a screen in the studio here where I can see myself on the stream, and I'm looking at it, I go, look how big, like I could fit my whole hand through the headset because of how big this headset is.
So maybe your head is actually abnormally small.
Yes, maybe it's that.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both things
I
working
did
at
have a
once.
7th grade teacher, though, tell me that I had a big head.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's not nice.
Was this a man or a woman?
A woman.
Yeah, a woman could be sharp with the tongue, man.
She was like, you have a big head. I'm
Women
like,
are really mean to
okay,
each other.
thanks.
Hey.
In my years of probably not the greatest self-esteem.
That's probably the worst
like,
time
why
ever
would you tell me that?
to try and call out a physical feature on a young girl in a negative way. That's the worst time ever in the teens or middle school.
Is big head worse or not as bad as big forehead?
Big forehead is worse.
Big forehead is worse.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to bounce back from big forehead.
5 head.
Yeah, if you have those nicknames, I feel like that's the worst.
So you don't have dreams, you have feature films at night and stuff. Like the kind of jokes that come out of big forehead things, they never go away. I'm sure Rihanna caught hell growing up in Trinidad.
Yeah, that's tough. That's why the hairline jokes are all a thing.
I know.
Because like it just accentuates a big forehead.
Did you see Speedy? I don't know if you probably don't know who Speedy is, but anyways, it's this guy.
Good blow by.
He had Stephen A. Smith on his show. And he asked Stephen A., he was like, man, you're a well-traveled dude. You're always all over the place. You ever thought about taking a trip to Turkey?
Did Stephen A. Smith register the joke? Take kindly to the joke?
I think he did. I didn't see the whole thing. It was like a clip, so I saw Stephen A. kind of give him a look like.
Yeah, I think Turkey's reached the common perception like Brazil does with butt assessments, right?
Yes.
Like
you take a trip to Brazil, you come back with a juicier booty.
Exactly.
Take a trip to Turkey, come back with a more frolicky hair.
Yeah, it just is better.
Like you get. So how long does it take for hair implants when you go to Turkey to actually like set in and be good? Is it like a 2-week process where you have to like wear a cap?
It's months.
Months.
Yeah, it actually takes a while. I've seen some people do it.
Wow.
And it looks gnarly. Like coming back, it does not look good.
You got to kind of camp out for a while.
Exactly.
Pandemic style.
You're kind of taking 3 steps back to go 5 steps forward with hair implants for men.
Camera off in the Zoom meetings.
Pretty much. Wear the hat.
I love when you join a Teams or a Zoom meeting and somebody's like, I don't have access to my camera right now. It's not something's going wrong with the camera. I'm like, dude, it is 2025. I know exactly what's going on. You ain't got no clothes on, do you? Like something's going on the other side that you don't want us to see. It's not that you can't turn your camera on. Damn it, you don't want to.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing my my teammates.
Your face? Yourself on a Teams call or us?
Everyone.
Okay.
Like I throw the camera on immediately. I don't know if it's just a me thing. I always have visual gags ready for my coworkers.
He had a cowboy hat on the other day in a call.
Oh, he just pops on with he likes to do that. He likes to like make memories with people. Like
yeah.
Listen,
we're all working, but we're all in this together. Let's make this workday a little bit better.
Personality hire over here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Glue guy.
Can we get a little no, that's the wrong one. Okay. That would be I just want to get something to just I'm a little parched. Cocktail of the day, maybe presented by
No, go. You got it.
Presented by whoever you would like to present it with.
No, you
Tina.
got it.
Just like I don't want to take away from Tina's moment. So you give us the cocktail and you tell us who's bringing it.
Theo, you're a saint. You would never do such a thing.
Never would Jeff jump in and do that, Tina. And I also would never criticize how much of a gap there is between your head and the headphones.
Right?
Yeah.
This is huge. This headset is huge on me right now.
Yeah, well, what the
Very
heck?
distracting.
It's almost
right.
like
Look how big it is. I could fit my hands through
it. Yeah.
Through it.
You shouldn't be able to do that. That's just not functionally correct. It's like, does Colin have a box head?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll get to the bottom of that.
I can't wait to look at the stream for Russo and Rizzo too and not see any space.
Wow.
It's
Now,
going to
we have to do a compare and contrast picture between Colin's head in those headphones and Tina's because the space is massive right
Tina's
now.
gonna look like Jared from Subway, like before the trouble, like with the jeans in front of him.
Before the trouble. After the weight loss, but before the trouble.
The cocktail of the day is... I Googled, NFL draft related, like cocktails, whatnot. And this said this was an NFL draft cocktail.
Wow.
The original Purple Blitz Spritz.
Okay.
And it has vodka, Chambord, liqueur, blackberry syrup or puree,
nice.
and Prosecco.
Prosecco.
And you garnish with a lemon wedge.
My grandma had this bottle of Chambord at the top of our downstairs
The
fridge.
D is silent.
Yeah, I was about to say that was
Chambord.
That was tough to hear.
I Googled it.
That's a big word for Alma.
It was, okay, so you didn't know until today.
No, I didn't know until today. I Googled it though to make sure I said it right.
It sat on top of the downstairs fridge for my entirety of my childhood, never left, just collected dust. And then one day, they opened that sucker open. And I was like, wow, this is a big moment. I felt like, ever grow up with a bottle in your house that sat there for that long and finally someone actually tastes it? No?
I got this bottle that Brian got me after my wedding. Really expensive Casa Azul.
Ooh.
Tequila.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, our guy here, Brian McLevin-Rhodes, teammate here at ESPN West Palm. And we haven't cracked it open yet, and I'm wondering what it tastes like. So that's the feeling I have now. It's been about a year and some change.
Is tequila good aged? Like, is that like an intended purpose for it?
I doubt it. I got some wine bottles as well, if that counts.
So my roommate went to London last year, and she got me a bottle of wine from the Buckingham Palace. And I will not open it until a special occasion. I was like, I don't want to open it yet.
What's the special occasion for the
Buckingham
Palace wine?
I haven't had one yet to open it.
See, that'll be a big problem for me whenever I do get to those life stages and those gifts, because I'm a big having your cake, not eating your cake.
Yeah.
I sleep much better at night knowing I have that bottle than the day that I actually pop it open, because I don't want to be premature. What if a big life event happens a week after I pop the bottle open? It's like, this is a horrible idea.
Yeah.
And I feel remorse. I don't want that to happen.
Well, the weird thing is there's never going to be a new life event that will take away from the enjoyment that you should have had by cracking it open last week, right? Like, if there's a new life event and it's that much of a priority, you go get a new bottle.
Well, I can't do that.
You know what's not a good life event? When you have car trouble. Jeez.
Oh, no. That is a terrible
But it gets
life
better
event.
when you listen to Tina and do this.
Yes, you never have to worry about car trouble if you go to my people at St. Lucie Battery and Tire. Flat tires, terrible. A dead battery, the worst. They've been around for over 50 years and are still family owned, which means they actually care about taking care of you. They've got all the big tire brands, and if your battery dies, they've got one for pretty much everything from cars, trucks, boats, RVs, and even commercial fleets. Plus, they have the best price out the door guarantee, so you know you are never overpaying. If you're ever stuck, they have 24/7 roadside emergency service, which can be a lifesaver in the moment. They even work with national accounts so businesses can count on them too. Next time your car needs something, go see St. Lucie Battery and Tire or check them out at slbt.com.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Can I make a point right quick?
Yes.
I'll make a point. We'll go to break. We'll discuss on the other side. The Jacksonville Jaguars have already won the Browns and Jags trade that saw Cleveland move back to 5, the Jaguars move up to 2, select Travis Hunter, and lose a lot of future assets. I'm not going to go back through all of the picks. It was next year's first, a second, a sixth, a fourth. There was a lot of picks given up. But when you're able to get a guy like Travis Hunter in-house, and he's your new franchise player, and we have the draft trade up, the graphic up on the YouTube stream if you want to look at it yourself. When you're able to go get a guy like Hunter under a new regime and build your franchise around the most versatile and unique player we've seen in quite some time, you've won that deal, and I don't care what the hell the Browns get back in return with the picks that you gave up. Next year's first rounder for the Jaguars should not be in the top 10, should not be in the top 15. If you feel like Trevor Lawrence is a franchise quarterback, and if you think Travis Hunter is, as he comes, a Heisman-winning player that can be a difference maker from day one on both sides, you should be able to tool around them in the right way. Year 2, Brian Thomas. Year 1, Liam Cohen with his new offense. You should be able to figure it out. I think when we look back at this 10 to 15 years from now, we're going to say, how did the Browns not extract more out of Jacksonville? And I'll tell you exactly why. I have data points and former draft day trades that prove my point correct. That's CCAT, that's Tina, I'm Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking. More discussions on the other side here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Cane's is coming soon to Tamarack at University and Commercial.
Drop the puck. Join ESPN West Palm and Coors Light Saturday, April 26th from 12:30 to 2:30 at Barbecue Beer Company in Jensen Beach as the Florida Panthers take on their in-state rivals, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Enjoy ice-cold Coors Light and Coors Banquet for $3. Score big with giveaways, including signed Panthers memorabilia, courtesy of Palm Beach Autographs. Must be 21 or older to participate. Coors Brewing Company reminds you to drink responsibly.
Let's go to the Rapids. Go splash, go wild, go together. With over 40 water slides and family-friendly fun, there's something for everyone. Right now, save up to 45% off tickets and season passes. Upgrade and get unlimited visits and free parking all summer long. Experience the all-new Mega Mayhem, Florida's first dueling water coaster. Hurry, this offer ends April 30. Rapids, South Florida's largest water park. Let's go.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 24 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and Men's Lacrosse title. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
In South Florida, when it's time to get back in the game, there's a name you need to know. HSS Florida. HSS ranked #1 in orthopedics for 15 years in a row by U.S. News and World Report. HSS brings world-class care to Palm Beach and Wellington. Whether it's a joint replacement, sports injury, or orthopedic trauma, HSS Florida treats athletes of all ages. Visit hss.edu/Florida to schedule your consultation today. HSS Florida, where champions and everyday people alike get the care they need to stay at the top of their game.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation. serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Time now for the coolest moment of the week. Presented by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDS is yes.
The Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter.
That reaction is your EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing coolest moment of the week. That was the sound of the Boynton Beach Culture and Arts Center erupting as the hundreds in there, family, friends, Boynton Beach Bulldogs, community members celebrated as Travis Hunter became the highest drafted cornerback ever in the history of the draft and the highest drafted receiver since 2007. Could you name the receiver that went in 07, number 2 overall, C-Cat?
2007. Was
07?
it Justin Blackman?
Not Justin Blackman. That would have been a disappointment.
Dang it.
07.
See how he's been looking? Not good.
Receiver. This guy's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. This guy was the literal, he was this franchise for about a decade.
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson, number 2 overall to the Lions back in 07. Travis Hunter, the highest drafted receiver since him, the highest drafted corner ever in the history of the NFL draft. But also, he is the first player to ever be drafted for multiple positions at one time. That's your EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing coolest moment of the week. Now, some say the Browns won this trade. In fact, our guy Cameron Wolf, Howling with the Wolf, he joined us to start the show today. You can go back and watch that on the ESPN West Palm YouTube page. He said he feels the Browns may have won the trade based on 3 league executives that he spoke to, and they said the Browns got the better of the Jags. Now, I'll go through the trade assets one quick time here, and I'll tell you why they're all incredibly wrong. The Jaguars got the number 2 pick. They turned that into Travis Hunter. They also got 2 more picks back from the Browns, a 4th rounder and a 6th rounder this year. So they get a 4th and a 6th rounder in Travis Hunter. The Browns got the Jags' 5th overall pick, plus they got their 2nd round pick, number 36 tonight. That'll be the 4th one or 3rd one. Doesn't matter. They also got the number 126 pick. That's a 4th rounder from the Jags as well. So you give up a 2nd, you give up a 4th this year, and then you give up a 1st rounder next year. So essentially, you're really just trading back in 2 different rounds this year, and you're giving up a future 1st for next year. And that's the cost for trading up 3 picks to go get Travis Hunter. Here's why I say the Jags win. Number 1, you got the best player in the draft. Whenever you walk away from the situation and you can say our guy is better than not only any guy you got, but any guy you'll get with those other picks, you have to feel good about yourself. Number 2, this is a bet on yourself to be good in year 2. The 2026 first rounder is only going to be substantial for Cleveland if everything goes wrong for the Jags. You have a quarterback, you have a competent head coach, and you just brought in Travis Hunter who will help you on both sides of the ball from day one. The Jaguars could at least say, even if you don't think Trevor Lawrence is a franchise quarterback, you could at least say he could be Baker Mayfield. Could he not? Can he not be Baker Mayfield level of production under Liam Cohen this year?
Yeah, that's a possibility for sure.
I would say that's probably the bar. You want to be at or above what Baker did, and if he could do that, the Jags could be a team that could contend for the AFC South or potentially make the playoff with the wild card. But here's why they really won the trade. I'm going to give you a few other historic draft day trade-ups for big-time players that worked out, and I'm going to ask you, C-Cat, if you can remember the team on the other side of the trade. So
I'm not good at this, so odds are no.
Exactly. In 1985, the San Francisco 49ers traded up in the draft to select Jerry Rice. Obviously, that works out for the Niners. They mission accomplished. They got him with the 17th overall pick. San Francisco sent a 1st rounder, a 2nd, and a 3rd rounder to one team to go out and get this Hall of Fame wide receiver out of Mississippi Valley State. C-Cat, do you know what team they traded with?
It was the Houston Oilers.
Absolutely not. It was the New England Patriots.
Okay.
All right, so they made that trade with the Patriots in 85. Who got the better of that deal between the Niners and the Pats?
The Niners did.
Yeah, because they got the player. How about we go to something more recent? You might remember the team on the other side of this one. Kansas City gave up the 27th overall pick in 2017, plus a 3rd rounder and its next year 1st round pick. Similar kind of capital to move up from 22nd to 10th to go get Texas Tech's Patrick Mahomes.
Who was the other side of that?
The Chiefs trade up in 2017 to get Mahomes. They give a lot of capital up. I know it's a quarterback, but still stick with me. They sent a lot of assets out to get a guy that not a lot of people had that high of a grade on. It's worked out for the Chiefs, obviously. The other team got a lot of trade assets.
Was it the Panthers?
No, Houston Texans. Exactly. Also, in 2011, the last time we saw a team trade up heavily for a wide receiver that worked out was the Falcons trading up for Julio Jones. That worked out for Atlanta. They sent their first rounder, a second rounder, and a fourth round pick of that year, along with next year's first and fourth round picks. They sent that heap of picks, 6 picks to one team just to trade up from 27 overall to number 6. That's when the Falcons went out and got Julio Jones. Again, a Hall of Fame wide receiver, I guess future Hall of Famer because he recently retired. In 2011, when the Falcons made that trade, C-Cat, could you guess who was on the other side of it?
Was it the Philadelphia Eagles?
The Cleveland Browns. In 2011, the Falcons traded up all of those picks to the Cleveland Browns to go get Julio Jones. We know who that guy is. We know what he meant to that franchise. The Browns got 6 picks out of that and absolutely nothing to show from it from 2011 on through today. And guess what happens last night? Oh, who is that? Is that the Cleveland Browns trading back for future draft assets? And who are they trading away to get? Oh, they're trading back to get Mason Graham. Great. A defensive tackle. That's going to shift the course of your franchise. Whereas the Jaguars jump up and get Travis Hunter, who we know is going to work out at the next level. The Jags already won this deal, not just because of who they brought in-house, but because future picks, these future assets that we all try to herald as, the hope on the other side, very rarely does it work out, and very rarely are we looking back on these trades and saying, this team actually won it. This team was good because they were able to get these ancillary picks. The Jags got the guy. They won the trade. Who do you think won the Browns and Jags trade from last night? The Jaguars traded up from 5-2 to go get their guy, Travis Hunter, the Heisman winner, the Jackson State alum, the HBCU alumnus, Travis Hunter. Big shouts. Let us know on the Baptist Health Hotline. Tap into Theoretically Speaking right here, 888-760-3776. That's the number to call in. Or you can drop it in the YouTube chat at ESPN West Palm. Who won the Travis Hunter trade? 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. That's the Baptist Health Hotline. Tap in. Let me know what you think. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. C-Cat, who do you think won the trade?
The Cleveland Browns won the trade.
Tina?
I think the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think the Jaguars and Travis Hunter won the trade. That's his franchise now. Why do you think the Browns won it?
I think the Browns won it because I think it's unfair for you to use previous history and decisions made against them in this scenario. And the Cleveland Browns are not a Travis Hunter away. No, they need to compile picks, add value, and they still had the 5th overall pick this year. This was an easy decision for me. I loved this move from the Browns.
Do you think any of those picks will be as good as Travis Hunter at the next level?
I think that those picks can be used to acquire a more important position in 2026, the position the Cleveland Browns have never been able to get right. Travis Hunter's great. I like Travis Hunter a lot. He seems like a great young man. He's a very fun football player to watch. But if you want to use previous history against the Cleveland Browns, I mean, doesn't he kind of smell like Jabril Peppers on steroids?
No, absolutely not.
Sometimes when you try to do everything right at the NFL level, you do everything kind of average.
I'm trying to see, because I remember what Jabril Peppers was really good at Michigan. I'm looking in his trophy case. Well, he didn't win the Blitnikoff Award. That's weird. Let me see. Maybe he won the Remick. No, not that either. Well, that's weird. Well, maybe he won the Heisman then. Maybe that was how you got the comp between Travis Hunter and no, not a Heisman either. Did he at least play all the snaps that Travis Hunter did? Did he at least show himself to be the best overall prospect that's graded out by pretty much every draft analyst as Travis Hunter did? I don't think so.
Well, that's why I said it's Jabril Peppers on metaphorical steroids.
It's much different than Jabril Peppers on steroids. That's crazy.
Well, it's someone that's going to be a jack of all trades, a Swiss Army knife, coming to the NFL. When you step up in competition,
he's elite at two things. It's not jack of all trades.
He is elite in college football at two things. So elite that he won a Heisman for it.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a non-NFL proven commodity that you are giving so much draft capital away. I think both teams and both franchises are better for the decision that they made to make this trade. But if I'm saying one team got better than the other did, it's Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are a better spot at a higher level than the Jaguars did because of this trade.
You think there's no way you even that didn't even sound right when you said it.
Yes.
That didn't even feel right when it came out of your mouth.
Not as an organization entirely, but they got further steps forward in getting better as a franchise.
You believe it?
Yes, I absolutely believe it.
Joke.
No, it's not. I'm not just arguing for the sake of arguing in this case.
I know you're not arguing for the sake of arguing. I think it is hilarious and it is a joke that we are going to presume the Browns got better based off of last night where the Jaguars went and got a guy that we know is going to be talented. There's nothing you can tell me that will convince me that with the 36th overall pick in the second round here, which will likely end up they'll turn into a quarterback between their two picks that they'll have tonight. One of it's going to end up turning into a quarterback, and all the quarterbacks left, a lot of question marks. So you can go ahead and flush that pick down the toilet. Then you got a fourth round pick this year as well. What do you get? Beef up the line? Cool. Fourth rounder. Cute. Yeah, I'm sure Travis Hunter is going to have trouble outproducing whatever they get in the fourth round this year with that pick. And no, I'm not done. Next year you get a first rounder. 2026 first rounder. You want to go through the past first round picks for the Browns and tell me whether or not you think that this is a team that's going to pick somebody that's going to supersede what Travis Hunter's going to do with the Jaguars?
So what's the point of all this? Because if the Browns selected Travis Hunter, he would be a Browns first-round pick.
Yes.
So then Travis Hunter would suck because of all previous first-round picks for the Browns sucked.
No, he's Travis Hunter. This is number 2 overall pick.
So he's the exception.
This is a sure thing.
So then why won't there be a prospect next year? That plays
they're
a more
not
important
picking in
position.
the top 10.
I mean, I'm sure when you have 2 first-round picks, you can get into the top 10, if not the Jaguars pick being in the top 10.
So you're saying the reason why they win this trade is because they might be able to draft like Arch Manning or something by trading that? Because the Jaguars' first rounder in 2026 is not going to be a top 10 pick.
I'm sure you can use it to get one when you combine it with the Browns' first round.
So you're saying that
the
compounding amount of things that they'll be able to do based on their new picks will be more impactful. Then I have this question to ask you then. If Travis Hunter can, and again, this is all us estimating stuff out, if he can turn into a player that is competing for MVPs because of his production on both sides of the ball, receiver and corner, is he not more valuable than a quarterback that is not top 10? You know, I'm trying to think of like a Geno Smith level quarterback, a Jared Goff, a Brock Purdy level quarterback.
Again, that is all results oriented. We don't know if a quarterback's drafted at 16.
I gave you the results, and you tell me what's more valuable to you.
We've all discussed
a
how
top-tier
loaded
receiver and corner or a middling quarterback.
Well, that quarterback that's drafted in the middle of the first round might turn into a franchise quarterback.
Good.
Especially
it's a coin flip. Quarterbacks are coin flips.
Yes, I would take a 50% chance at being relevant because you have a great quarterback versus a guarantee with Travis Hunter being wasted on the current Cleveland Browns with no quarterback.
And the Browns have tried what you just said year after year after year, and the results, well, they speak for themselves.
Yeah, shut up, Tina.
Why going against Tina now?
That was entertaining to see both of you.
That was fun.
Go back and forth. I like sitting here.
That's just a little tee up for Russo and Rizzo, as I'm sure they'll have an opinion on the pick.
Oh yeah.
I've got something to say, and it has nothing to do with football, everything to do with hockey. Panthers playoff hockey's back, so I want you to join ESPN West Palm and Coors Light Saturday, April 26th from 12:30 to 2:30 at Barbecue Beer Company in Jensen Beach as the Florida Panthers take on their in-state rivals, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Game 3.
Game 3. Enjoy ice-cold Coors Light and Coors Banquets for $3, or you can score big with giveaways, including signed Panthers memorabilia, courtesy of Palm Beach Autographs. Must be 21 or older to participate. Coors Brewing Company reminds you to please drink responsibly. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy.
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's